Mobil 1 V8 Supercars in the house now for their first heat of the day here at the Passion for Speed Festival. It's the 20th anniversary of this incredible event, and a big welcome to everybody who's joined us from all around the world. I see Tiny's just joined us from Cape Town. He's giving a shout out there to Stephen Heidenreich. We did that already, Tiny. Cape Hell Drivers for Life. He was out earlier in the... Tiny says a 140Z, but on the entry list it says it's a 160Z. So, Tiny, maybe you can give us a little bit of insight as to which it actually is. It looked like a 160Z to me from the Datsun factory. We don't have any V8 supercars running Datsun engines at the moment, though. Just Ford and Chev at this point. That's the Chev out front. That leads at this point in time with Thomas Reeb in the Mobil 1 and Cafe 9 Automotive Chevy. And that Lumina of his is the car to beat today. Julian Familiaris in the Lubnet DiMatteo Racing Chevy Corvette makes it two Chevs on the front row. And I think that's probably the first time in a long time that we've had two Chevys on the front row at a Mobil 1 V8 Supercar outing. Triple one is JP Norkia, going back to sort of his older style colours of kind of the Hulk green car. Mackie Adlam trying to get some heat into the rubber as he slides through turn 2 there. Looking at the way they line up, Franco Di Matteo climbing straight out of his Opel Astra and straight into the Daltec Batteries Jaguar Black Cat in the second row. Just behind him will be Mackie Adlam, current champion in this class, 4-time champion in fact, and championship leader in terms of points in this category as well. Richard Fuller and Warren Lombard will be just behind that. And we've got Terry Wolford and Larry Wolford alongside each other for the fourth row of the grid. As they're going to turn 2, it's like a bit of chopping and changing into second place as Di Matteo squeezes Familiaris out, his stablemate, and Mackie Adlam trying to get through as well on him. The two Jaguars just squeezing the Chevy out. The Corvette having to go defensive onto the back straightaway. Mackie Adlam tucks in behind Julian Familiaris. Now Familiaris doing Di Matteo a great serve of favour here as they go into turn 4. Remember, Julian Familiaris is going to try and do the blocking role to keep Mackie Adlam out and give Di Matteo a chance to close this championship down a bit. Thomas Reeb also coming out of Cafe Automotive and Mobil 1 stable at this point leads things out for the Chevy fans. Moving through the field rapidly there, you can see Warren Lombard just behind Fuller. Fuller's got a bit of a jump there on Lombard. Lombard having to go defensive now on Terry Wolford in the Fuchs Lubricants Falcon. Two Falcons coming down the hill there and onto the braking markers. Oh, and Wolford has a big dive on the inside of Warren Lombard. Looking to try and squeeze him out. Didn't quite get there though. Very, very close stuff. As they come flying through there behind that, JP Norkia and Carl Nell starting to come through the field too pretty rapidly. 77 out there, of course Larry Wolford just behind that. And he's got some work to do to try and catch up to the back end of his son Terry. So Mackie Adlam just losing a little bit of ground, unfortunately, to the big battle there between himself and his stablemate Franco Di Matteo. He's leaving it to Mackie Adlam to fend off the attack there from the hard-charging Mackie Adlam. Andre DeLange in the Roofshaw car. He's just trying to get into the thick of it now. Starting to open up opportunities and see if he can find a way through. DeLange also having a bit of an up-and-down start to the season there for the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars in the Roofshaw machine. Creative Inc., of course, the men and ladies who have put the livery onto that car. Trying to find a way through there on the 15 machine of Carl Nell. Carl Nell just keeping him honest for now. JP Nokia closes behind that. Then you've got David Kutsia just in the background of the shot. Familiaris has lost a little bit of ground now to Mackie Adlam. Adlam has closed the gap down to Franco Di Matteo. Lombard in the Pep Boys automotive car doing a superb job so far. Looking to try and just do a little bit of maneuvering through the field to get a bit up close and personal. 12 car out there of Richard Fuller. Fuller at the moment in 5th place. He wants to get his machine up as high as possible if he can. Richard Fuller in the Mustang wants to be onto the back end of that battle just up the road from him. Late breaking out of Fuller as he comes up into turn number 5, right past the AMG Driving Academy. Through 6, it's Kenwood Corner, and then down the hill past the Volkswagen Driving Academy. And De Matteo now applying the pressure onto the back end of Thomas Reeb, and a similar thing being done to him by Mackie Adlam. Three-way battle for the lead here. Adlam wants by, but I think De Matteo wants by even more importantly. Goes defensive into turn 2, doesn't give Adlam any chance to try and squeeze him out. Chevy versus the 2 Ford-powered Jaguars. Lumina hangs on for now. Mobil 1 Cafe 9 Automotive versus Daltic Batteries and De Matteo Racing versus Adlam Auto. That's how they come through turn 4 and up to the top of the hill again. Into the brakes for turn 5. De Matteo hangs on, closes the gap down again on Reeb. Adlam waiting for a chance to pounce. Remember, this is a 10-lap race, one of the first 10-lap races we had of the day. Reeb, De Matteo, and Adlam, your top 3, starting another lap and starting to be closed down by Julian Familiaris, who's now got into a bit of a rhythm. Familiaris into the 102.3s, 102.7s and 6s coming out of the top 3. So you can see there's definitely a bit of a maneuver happening here from Familiaris' point of view. Nice move here from De Matteo as he applies big pressure onto the back end of Reeb. Thomas Reeb set the pace in qualifying, so he knows he's got the pace to stay at the front end. But with pressure coming from multiple champions in their own right there in De Matteo and in 4-time champion Mackie Adlam, going to be a tough ask here, there's no doubt about it. Shane Steenkamp in the house as well. Thanks for joining us here on the live feed, and everybody else who's joined us on the various pages we're going live with today. Big welcome to everybody from all around the world. Hope you've enjoyed all this action so far as Mobil 1 V8 Supercars complete another lap with Reeb at the front, De Matteo second, ahead of Adlam and that man, Julian Familiaris. Oh, and Familiaris with a massive moment! Heading straight off the circuit, and Marshall running for his life there, as Familiaris looks like he might have had a puncture in that back right. It just stepped out there in a big way going through turn 1. I was about to say, Julian Familiaris pushing so hard. He was quickest on that last lap, and you can see he's trying so hard to try and get to the front. Unfortunately, a little mistake there from him, or a possibility of a puncture, and look at that Corvette. Completely wrecked. A lot of work to get that car back on track, and De Matteo at the moment has got a lot of work to do with himself right now in second. You won't be thinking about repairing that car just yet, but there will be a lot of frantic work down in pit lane to see if they can get Julian Familiaris' car back up and running. Down to the line, here comes a move from De Matteo. The Daltic Batteries Jaguar diving on the inside of the Cafe Automotive Mobil 1 machine of Thomas Reeb. Just didn't quite get there. Here they go down into turn 1. There'll be yellow flags there, so yeah, you'll have to back out. De Matteo is seeing those yellow flags and backs out for a possible overtaking maneuver. In fact, safety car. Safety car has been deployed. So Thomas Reeb will have to let that safety car through, and De Matteo will have to do the same thing to allow that Toyota 86 to get through. Double yellows down into turn 1 due to that big incident. And that was a big one there for Julian Familiaris. I think Reeb and De Matteo would have seen the safety car, so possibly going to have to bring them back and into line astern behind the safety car. Remember, these V8 Supercars can do up to 140 k's an hour in first gear. So first gear around the track for the next couple of laps behind the safety car from Pretoria and Toyota will be the way things are going to go for the next lap or so. There you see a replay. Thanks, Paul, for that. Just put a wheel on the dirt. I think there might have been a puncture on that car, though. And he goes slamming into the tyre barrier. Toyota 86 up the inside of the Cafe Automotive Mobil 1 Chev Lumina to take the lead of the race and control things now. Just to keep these cars running line astern for the next couple of laps while they try and recover and clear that Corvette of Julian Familiaris's. slamming into that tyre barrier. The tyre barrier doing its work, though unfortunately it has destroyed the left-hand side and front of the car. Dr. Donovan getting right up close and personal with the driver to make sure he's okay. I think Jules looks like he is. Yeah, there he is, walking on the sideline. Hunley just giving him the thumbs up, saying that Julian's okay. Big Max will be brought onto the circuit, as you can see, to recover that Corvette. What a pity there for that young driver. A superb run so far from Julian Familiaris. Started on the front row, remember, alongside Thomas Reed. Didn't quite get the start he wanted, and got beaten in the first part of the race by the two Jaguars of Di Matteo, his stablemate and teammate in the Deltic Batteries car. And the second Jaguar XKR of Mackie Adlam also got through on the inside, but he was starting to come through the field rapidly. He was about half a second up on the first three cars, and I think maybe he pushed it a little bit too much. We're on to the 8th lap of 10. Good possibility that this may finish up under safety car. Remember, with this form of racing, Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, there'll be a completely inverted grid. And because of the fact that they're all under safety car, it may be in the entire grid that gets inverted. Which would mean, as they're running right now, the chairman of the board will probably be on the front row. Steve Herbst in his PPG Corvette, possibly the pole man for race 2 later on in the day. It's at about 4:30 this afternoon, if we stay on track with the current timing of the 20th running of the Passion for Speed Festival. I hope we don't have to either, but I think with only a lap and a half to go, or possibly 2 laps to go, we might just get 1 lap sprint race. That'll be interesting if we get a 1-lap sprint race to decide this one. But I think they're going to possibly end under the safety car. They've got 2 laps to go, and it doesn't look like they've got that Corvette sorted out and out of harm's way. No, not going to be enough time to get that Corvette up onto the back of Big Max, our official recovery vehicle here. Julian just giving a thumbs up to somebody on the opposite side of the circuit just to say I'm okay. Not quite what Mobil 1 V8 Supercars wanted to do, and we're just about to get into a bit of a battle there, as Familiaris had closed up on the first 3. Reeb, Di Matteo, Adlam, Fuller, Lombard, Wolford, Colnell, Andre De Lange. That's how they are at this point. Well, the top 10 is made up by, of course, JP Nokia and the Infor Auto Body Racing Machine. On back to his original Hulk colors. Keep an eye out on that safety car as well to see if the lights are going to go out on it. Are they going to give him a chance to race? I don't think they are, because Big Max is still in turn 1 and they haven't even started recovering the Corvette. Stricken on the sideline. Sam Dahl, of course, one of our international competitors here in the Ford Falcon. He actually may be on pole. Sam Dahl and Steve Herbst might be the front row of the next heat of the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. Yeah, we're definitely going to finish under safety car. There's definitely not enough time there for them to recover that vehicle, get it out of harm's way before the end of this race. So it looks like we should maybe go down to Rob Portman and just get confirmation if we can. Rob's down in pit lane and we're trying to get hold of him quickly and see if we can get that information. But by the looks of it, with a lap to go and that car still stricken at turn 1, possibilities are that it is going to end under the safety car. Thomas Reeve's going to be happy about this. It's going to basically a gift to him there from Di Matteo Racing, considering the fact that Franco Di Matteo is right on his tail and was pushing him for the lead. He had a dive on the inside to try and get through. Didn't quite get there though. Mackie Adlam was right there with him, waiting to pounce if something went wrong. David could see a bit further back there, just behind JP Nokia. And I think it'll be Sam Dahl and Steve Herbst that are going to be on the front row for the start of race 2 with the inverted grid. Could see a Nokia the second row, DeLange and Nell the third. Wolford and Wolford will be the fourth row. So as they roll around now to complete the last lap. So 2 corners to go. Let's go down to Rob Portman in pit lane.
So it looks like the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars race is going to end under safety car conditions. Unfortunately, checkered flag is out. It will be Thomas Reeve that'll come across the line in first place there. So not the way that we wanted that race to end. It was looking very entertaining with a 3 or 4-way battle going on for the lead of that race. But Henny the Flag has got the flag out. So unfortunately, that puts an end to the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rob. Getting confirmation that they have completed the race under safety car conditions due to that incident with Julian Familiaris down at turn 1. So it is Thomas Reeve from Franco Di Matteo, Mackie Adlam and Richard Fuller, the first 4, ahead of Warren Lombard, Larry Wolford, Terry Wolford, Carl Nell and Andre DeLange, with JP Nokia making up the top 10. So with the inverted grid, Julian Familiaris, because he didn't finish, he'll probably have to start at the back of the heat, which means Sam Dahl and Steve Herbst. Good possibility of them being the front 2 cars with that inverted grid for race 2 at about 4:30 this afternoon. Mobil 1 V8 Supercars coming to a bit of a deflated finish to this one. We were about to get into the thick of a big battle, and with that little crash and the car being stricken down at turn number 1, as you can see there, Familiaris's Di Matteo Racing Corvette having to be put onto the back of Big Max and returned to pit lane. And the side of the car doesn't look too much damage. The front looked like it had a lot of damage, but we'll wait and see if they're able to get that car sorted out. Reeve got the victory, and he will of course be gifted that victory after the safety car finish ahead of Di Matteo and Mackie Adlam.
Thomas, you've just climbed off the track now, and for the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, didn't end the way we wanted it to with a safety car, but just give us your experience of driving one of those massive cars, handling one of those cars around Swartkorps.
Look, it is like swinging a cat around in the pantry. It's a big car, big horsepower. There was a lot of entries today. It's sad to end like this. Nobody wants to win under a safety car, but we take a win as a win at the end of the day. The first few laps were good. Franco gave me a run for my money, and one day when I've raced like 100 years like Willie here, I'm hoping to have bagged a few championships like him as well.
And that battle that you had, it was a 3-way battle at the front. How hard is it to keep those guys behind you? It's not an easy track to pass it, but is it just a matter of hitting your line, closing those gaps?
Yeah, I never look in the mirror. So this is about driving your own race, and then you just hope the other guys don't find a way. I did see Franco poke the nose in here just before the safety car. I had a little bit of an issue with the brakes. We'll sort that out for the second race, but otherwise they race their race, and I'll just take the win.
Thomas, thank you very much. Good luck for race number 2. Hopefully it's a little bit better.
Amazing stuff as they go into turn 5 now from the V8 Supercars point of view. It's Steve Herbst, the pole man, who hangs on for half a lap, and he's hanging on almost for the entire lap. JP Nokia giving him a bit of a run for his money. Sam Dahl dropped to third place now as we see Richard Fuller squeezing through there and just getting ahead of the 98 car. So a little bit of chopping and changing happening there. It's actually Andre De Lange who's squeezed up alongside Steve Herbst with a bit of smoke coming off that front right tyre. JP Nokia all over the back of the second Corvette, and he's in that second Corvette trying to push through there on the first one as they go into turn 1. The inverted grid, of course, was Dahl and Herbst on the front row ahead of Kutsia and JP Nokia. And the first 4 cars basically still at the front there, other than Fuller, who's dived on and get into the mix of it big time from the start. He, of course, was picked up there by multiple champion in his own right and seasoned campaigner in this category with Rolf Duplessis in his stable. So Richard Fuller into a big go-kart for the first time. See whether he's able to run with the boys at the front end now as they start to sort things out in that mid-pack. Steve Herbst chopping by the wayside ever so slightly. And Carl Nell makes his way through, so does Terry Wolford and Warren Lombard coming along for the ride. Looks like Mackie Adlam just up there as well, trying to get through on Larry Wolford. Larry Wolford just keeping the third Corvette. In fact, he's now the second Corvette as JP's dropped down 1 position. Could see her side by side with Carl Nell as they come out of turn 6. Could see her on the inside line, Carl Nell on the outside. It'll swap out as they go down the hill. And Nell onto the dirt. Very, very wide and onto the dirt and giving Warren Lombard a sniff as Terry Wolford dives on his inside. Lombard now going to try and squeeze through and hopefully turn his day around in terms of luck. Didn't quite work out in the SATT, so he's looking to do it here, of course, in the big race for Mobil 1 V8 Supercar Supremacy. Oh, Franco Mataro is really battling to get through this field. Mackie Adlam has gone through like a hot knife through butter, and he's already up into about the top 4 there by the looks of it. The Cafe 9 automotive car. And Mobil 1 sponsored Chevy Lumina that took the first win, Thomas Reeb, having it not his own way here in the second one. Also battling to get through a slightly bigger field than normal here of V8 Supercars. 15 of them in total, and that's how they stand as we go up to the top of the hill again. It's Mackie Adlam trying to close the gap down on those top 2. De Lange leads out, Fuller in second. 2 relatively newcomers, or in fact a brand new comer in second place, and a rookie. Oh, what a touch! Lombard coming together there with Carl Nell, forcing his way through, and he eventually gets it and gets ahead, but had to be a bit of a forceful maneuver there from Warren Lombard. Putting that Falcon on the inside, trying to find a way past on the Mustang, and he gets through eventually. So that's not quite what we wanted there. Carl Nell, of course, sorry, in the Chevy Lumina, not in the Mustang. He's in the second of the Luminas. And now the second of the Jaguar starting to make his way through. Change up for the lead. Richard Fuller going to hit the front for the first time. Richard Fuller leads on debut. How was that for a turnaround? And the second Jaguar now going to be the third Jaguar as Mackie Adlam dives on the inside and makes his way up into second place. De Lange demoted down to third. Late braking and locking up from De Lange. Creative Inc. and Roofshaw car putting the pressure on and having the pressure put on him. Have a look at this. This is the touch here between Warren Lombard and Carl Nell. No love lost there. And Thomas Reeb with the best seat in the house as they came through that little maneuver. Larry Wolford now closing onto the back end of De Lange with a bit of a smoking gun. I don't know if there's a bit of body rub or some... it's a flat tyre. Flat right-hand tyre there for De Lange. He pulls off the circuit. You can just see that right-hand tyre deflate as he came into Kenwood, and he's off the track completely and out of it. The front right of De Lange's car is deflated, and that's it. He's gone. Creative Inc. and Roofshaw car out of race 2. Here they go, down towards turn 1 again. This time with David Kutsia as they fly through turn 1. Moving back to the front, and it's a new leader. Mackie Adlam's hit the front and taken the lead from Fuller. Fuller had 1 lap in the lead in his debut for the Mobil 1 V8 Supercars. And they come down under braking. You see Dimato's now got through on Nell. Dimato taking his time, not going to risk anything. He definitely doesn't want to have any accidents or incidents on track that will spoil his day in terms of trying to get as many points as possible to close the gap down in this championship. Big fight between Dimato and Adlam for the championship lead. JP Nokia having a nice return to racing up into 4th place now. 4 of 12 completed, so a third of the race done. And Dimato's got another 8 to try and get to the front. Have a look at the gap though. It's quite a big gap to that front end battle. Richard Fuller and Mackie Adlam. Fuller for the first time in a V8, and man, look out for Richard Fuller in the future of this sport. He's jumped into this car and made it look so easy. Harry Wolford still in the 3 spot, ahead of JP Nokia, the 2 Chevy Corvettes 3 and 4. Ford Falcon of David Coetzee ahead of Terry Wolford's Falcon, the Fuchs Falcon. JP Nokia running wide onto the dirty stuff as well. That's not what you want to do. David Coetzee now under pressure. Mobil 1 versus Fuchs. They are side by side, the two Falcons. Warren Lombard just behind them, looking to pounce if he can in the third of those Falcons, and the Chevy Lumina is lining up big time here for some big action. And that's exactly what you're going to expect when these three guys get at it. Lombard a little bit out of shape there, maybe a bit of body rub on that incident between himself and Cole now has shaken loose some of that body work. Late braking from Terry Wolford. He's on the inside of David Coetzee as they go to the top of the hill into turn 5. Right behind them, it's Thomas Reed trying to do the same thing there to Warren Lombard. Lombard hangs on for now. Johnny Eco down the back straight with a problem, unfortunately, in the 4th Corvette. Looks like he might be pulling to the sideline. JP Nokia is the man blocking everybody else getting through. Nokia in the N4 machine, the auto body car, in Hulk colors, heading down towards turn number 2. In fact, he's been outgunned. There's a problem there. The Corvette slowed. Looks like Larry Wolford slowing as well. Both the Corvettes slowing almost at the same time. Wolford and JP Nokia slowing up, giving David Coetzee a chance to get through up into 3rd place. This is the 3rd place battle now. 3 Falcons and a Lumina. Top 2 already down the back straight and into turn 4 and up the hill. Here comes 3rd place. Terry Wolford with a chance of a podium, looking to get through on Coetzee. Coetzee under pressure now from 5 cars behind him. Unbelievable. In fact, make it 4 because the one has dropped back slightly there. Carl Nell not able to run with the pace of these incredible V8 supercar contenders here for 3rd. Oh, a touch! Warren Lombard taps Wolford and he spins out and he nearly tags the Chevy Lumina there of Thomas Reeb. How he missed him, only he knows. Thomas Reeb very lucky to avoid the spinning Fuchs Falcon. And Wolford with a little tap there from behind from Warren Lombard. He could be in a bit of trouble for that. You can see the damage on the front end of the Falcon of Lombard. Carl Nell able to close in now on the 2nd Lumina. So it's 2 Chevy Luminas fighting for what is 5th place on track. Oh, that's such a pity that little tag happened. Have a look at this as they come into turn 5. Wolford's on the brakes. He's late on the brakes trying to close down. And Warren Lombard, oh, definitely going to be in trouble for that. Little tag on the back end of Wolford, who spins out. Reeb millimeters away from tagging that rear wing of the Fuchs Falcon. And Carl Nell drives around the outside. There's Larry Wolford climbing out of his car. Out of the 2nd heat. That's not what you want to see for Uncle Larry, unfortunately, but he's going to have to walk back to pit lane and out of harm's way. He's just on the exit point of the pit lane. David Coetzee in 3rd place, looking for a podium. 7 laps completed, and now 7 laps completed, and only 5 to go. 12 lapper here. Trying to remember how many laps we got in this race. It's a 12-lap 2nd heat for V8 Supercars. And onto the brakes. Here comes Warren Lombard looking for a chance on Coetzee now. Ooh, Warren Lombard's going to do a bit of a cold trickle on us here, is he? Hit the pace car, Warren. Why? You've hit everybody else. You might as well make you perfect. So, looks like it's going to be a bit of a fight there for Lombard. Fuller's is 2nd, and he's doing such a good job out there for his first time out in a V8 supercar behind Mackie Adlam, 4-time champion in this class. And if we look at the lap times, 103.7s out of Mackie Adlam, 104.1s out of Richard Fuller. Only about 0.3 of a second slower than the multiple champion. Further back, that's Sam Dahl closing on the back end of Steve Herbst, still with the smoking gun. A little bit of a tyre rub there on that front right or back right. Definitely some tyre rub on the bodywork. I think it might be the back one that's just catching there on the Pry Instrumentation and PPG car. Here comes the leader down to G&H Transport Corner in a V8 supercar, not in an extreme supercar. Richard Fuller, turn around and have a look at who's behind you there, Mackie Adlam. That's a man who's only driven a V8 supercar in anger once, and that was only a couple of hours ago. And he's already up in a 2nd place overall in a V8 supercar race. Lombard's through for 3rd, and Dimato's through for 4th. So it looks like David Coetzee falling by the wayside there and losing ground to both Lombard and Dimateo. Behind them, it's Thomas Reeb. Reeb looking to try and pounce now and get on the inside of Coetzee. He does so. He dives on the inside, forces Coetzee onto the high line out of turn 2. And he might be able to make that one stick, and I think he may just cement it onto the back straight. Coetzee's not going to give up, though. Coetzee comes side by side. Chevy versus Ford onto the back straight. The Chev's got the inside line for turn 4, so he may just have to give it up, but the Mobil 1 grid car there just diving through and trying to find a way. Didn't quite make it stick. That's Mobil 1 versus Mobil 1 grid as they head to the top of the hill now. Pep Boys Automotive and High-Tech Machine up there into what is now 3rd place for Warren Lombard. Franco Namato, I'm sure, is going to have a go there at Lombard. And about to complete lap number 10 with 2 to go. 2 laps to go in this V8 Supercar action. This is exactly what we expected for race 2. Franco Namato may not have time. Huh? Flag's out. How's that work? Checkered flag just came out there, Dave, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure if I was seeing that right or wrong. But I believe this is a 12-lap race, not a 10, and the flag has come out. So I don't know if they got that wrong on the program or made a change-up on the program. But yeah, there it is. Apologies for that, ladies and gents. We have it as a 12-lapper on the program. And the flag has come out 2 laps before the end of the race. So they must have made a change-up on the program and not let us know. Mackie Adlam has taken the victory. There it is. Confirmation of that. Well, apologies for that, ladies and gents, but on my program in front of me it says 12 laps of action for the V8 Supercars second race, and we only had 10 of them. Mackie Adlam taking the victory over Richard Fuller, his first time out. He'll be ecstatic about that. Warren Lombard might be in a bit of trouble with the COC. We'll have to wait and see if they deem his actions a bit too harsh, but Rubbings Racing, he'll say. He's got 3rd place in his first podium. Franco Namato comes through for 4th place in the Italian Stallion. The Black Cat there from Deltec Batteries. And a good run, of course, for all of our V8 Supercars on the entirety of the day. We love having Mobil 1 V8 Supercars in action. A couple of cars to be returned back to pit lane, including that one there of Larry Wolford's. And once we've got a clear track, and hopefully we get some interviews down in the Park Fermé area, all these Mobil 1 V8 Supercar drivers possibly find out why the race was shortened. Maybe get some drivers to come to our interview point as well. We'll wait and see. It's a bit too far from our link, though, that we've got down in pit lane. But Mobil 1 V8 Supercars, that's them for the day, and 2 great races. As I said, unfortunately, we were caught out there by a change in the program that we were unaware of. And from a 12-lap race that was published, it's gone down to a 10-lapper for race 2 for V8 Supercars. Taken there by Mackie Adlam, ahead of Richard Fuller in his debut in V8 Supercars. Watch out for that name in the future of V8 Supercar racing. If that's what he can do in a V8, I'm sure he's going to be back for more of the same.
I've just grabbed the man after he's got off track, and what a fantastic win. Seems like a very popular win. The whole of Swartkops screaming for you. Mackie Adlam, that looked like a lot of fun, but hard work at the same time.
Well, what a privilege, first of all, to be part of the Formula. Mobil 1, AG Lubricants, without you guys, this is not possible. And as you said, it was a lot of fun, some hard work. And, you know, our team, without them, we're also nothing. So thanks to the team, and good points to the championship. It's early days, but that's what we're here and fighting for.
Getting one of those Mobil 1 V8 Supercars around Swartkops today looks like a workout.
Yes, you know, the circuit is marvelous. You know, Peter de Toy, absolute legend. And what he's put up for us is nothing short of a miracle, and you know, we have to thank him as well for this wonderful circuit that he's presented us to live our passion, you know. So Mobil 1, AG Lubricants, Swartkops, passion for speed, what a weekend.
And you, what do you think of that win?
Great.
Well, there you have it. Great. Well done, Mackie Adlam. Brilliant stuff. Go and celebrate with your family, your team, everyone. Congratulations. And again, big thank you to Mobil 1. V8 Supercars are stronger than they've ever been since I've seen in the last 10 years. So really world-class racing here today at the 20th running of the Passion for Speed at Swartkops.